Good morning and welcome to a little bit of creativity on this Friday morning. And it is the 18th of July. Gosh, we're more than halfway through July now. Goodness me. Okay, I'm going to give people a chance to come on. Excellent. Just refreshing my computer. There we go. Okay. Morning everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm sure you can. Lovely, there was a thumbs up. Everything's good. Thank you so much, Philippa. That's brilliant. Okay, so I am going to give myself a helping hand because I don't have the card, which is unusual for me not to have the card in front of me, but I don't. So I'm going to do a variation of the card that I shared. So same technique and everything, but I'm going to do a slightly different colourway to the first time, and I am going to make it a thank you card and not a birthday card. So it will be similar, I promise. Okay, let me flip the camera. Now I need to jump between my laptop and my picture so that I know what the other card looked like. Bear with me. Oops, no, that's the wrong button. Let's do that again. Okay, let's get this all in position. What's happened here? Got my cable tied up. That's it. Right, let's bring you down. Hopefully get a good view. Let my computer catch up. Okay, so I am going to be doing a 5x7 card. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. So it's a 5x7 inch card, and I've cut and scored this myself from a sheet of Super Smooth. And then I've picked different colourways. Now last time I did a soft green, a pale duck egg blue, a purple and a magenta-y sort of colour. So I thought, let's do different colours. Plus I don't think I had any more of those colours left. So I have gone with, and I want 5, because if I was doing happy or thank, I need 5 different colours. So I've got like a reddy sort of colour, an orange, a bright yellowy orange, an apple green and a soft green, which I thought looked really lovely together. Okay, let me come back so I can see what you're seeing. Okay, now when I watched a video back the other day, just quickly checking for something, I felt like it wasn't very crisp, but I have given my phone a clean this morning and that does look a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to be using those coloured papers. I've stamped some postage stamps, but I've had an idea, so I might not use them now. I might use something different. Oh, and I know what else I need. I need Hazel's alphabet. There was me thinking I was going to use my letter tiles, but I didn't. I used the alphabet. I've just got to locate it now. There we go. So I haven't put all my folders together in order yet. They're all just in little folders like this at the moment, but I will do. Now I need to look at the comments. Sorry. Yes, I love those colours. I thought they were rather nice as well. I mean, I did like the original colours, but like I said, I didn't have any more papers. So I'm going to do the alphabet letters in my postage stamps, but I might not use the white ones. I was thinking it might look quite nicely coloured. And I was thinking that the letters might look quite nice black if I did the postage stamp coloured and then put the black, but we'll see. So I might change it a little bit. So I've got the alphabet set, and then originally I used on my card, I use my big Blossoms and Blooms stamp set. But I thought this time, let's change it up again. You know what I'm like. And I thought we'll use, I always want to call it the cat stamp, Blooming Bouquet. So I'm going to use Blooming Bouquet instead. So I think it's nice because you'll get two ideas this way as well. Is it still very chilly in Australia? It's still very hot here. Thank you everybody for joining me. It's lovely to have your company. Okay, right. And I'm going to use I'm going to use the thank alphabet letters, and then I'm going to use my big U die so that we can have the thank in the stripes, and then the U will be down the bottom, and I'm going to do some flowers and stuff around it because I need a thank you card. I'm going to use black VersaFine to stamp with, and no doubt there'll be some glitter glue because a card wouldn't be card without glitter glue. Okay, so I am going to cut strips, and I'm probably going to do 2 at a time. So I'm going to cut strips of my card. Now, when you're doing this, you could make this card several times over. I think I did 2 centimetres, but that's not very big, is it? No, because this is, the card is 12, isn't it? Yeah, 12 centimetres. Maybe I did 2.5. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay, well, I'm going to do 2.5 this time. So if I have 5, will there be 2 what? I need a pencil. My maths is shocking, but I can do it if I've got a pencil. So they're 2.5, so that'll be 5, and that'll be 10, that'll be 12.5, so that'll be too big. That's right, isn't it? 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. And that's 50, 50. Yeah, that'd be too big, so it was 2 centimetres. Gosh. Okay, so that's quite hard to cut in my guillotine, so I want to give you a tip for what I do when it's only 2 centimetres that I need to cut. So if I measure this, and I'm going to cut it to 14 centimetres, so I'm making it easy for myself to start with, down to 14 centimetres. Now I can cut it at 12, and that's an awful lot easier to do that and get a nice 2 centimetre strip than trying to cut with this little bit here. I hope that makes sense. So then I can go down to 10. And then I can go down to 8. I don't need all of these, obviously, so I've got enough here at the moment to make 3 cards, and I'll keep this because I want to do some stamping for flowers and the postage. So we'll do the other 3 together. So we'll do the same. We'll put this in, and I don't know if you saw the bottom of my guillotine, so I'll move it up a little bit. So I'm going to cut that down to, oh, I bet I put it on the wrong place. Oh no, I don't think I did. Cut it down to 14 to start with. Make sure they're all nicely lined up. And then you just guillotine that little bit off and chuck that away. And then we can go down to 12. And down to 10. It is important that you keep them straight, obviously. Down to 10. And then down to 8. And then we've got enough to do 3 cards. And I'll keep these for the stamping of my postage and any flowers I want to do. So now I'm going to bring in my stamping press, take out my sheet, and I want the last colour to be the soft green. So this is when you decide the colourway that you want. And then I'm going to place these strips in my press, lining them up absolutely perfectly together. And because I've got my sticky mat, it's obviously holding them in place. If you don't have a sticky mat, you can use your magnets to hold the strips in place, or you could put them together with a bit of tape on the back just so that you know, you could put line your strips up on the table like this and put some tape across it just so that it's holding it in place for you just while you stamp it. But because I've got my sticky mat, I should be fine. Now, I have just thought that I want it away from the edge a little bit because my big cat stamp, or sorry, my blooming bouquet stamp, I want to put it down like that. I want it really over the edge. So I'm just going to lift these and use one of the lines to make sure I get them straight and just move them over just so that I can do off the page stamping. I do like my stamps to go off as well. Now just line those all up again. This is such a godsend, this sticky mat, and I cannot believe that when it's lost its stick, I just wash it, warm soapy water, and it's all sticky again. It doesn't make sense to me, but hey ho. Now, I do want to, I'm going to cut them down, so I don't want the pattern to come all the way down to the bottom because I want to be able to cut and have a little bit. No, I didn't. Okay, I did go to the bottom. Okay. So we can get as much as we can on those strips. So let's pick our stamp up and let me move these out of the way so that I can move my press over so you can see the inking of the stamp as well. So I'm going to take my time to ink this up, remembering that my ink pad is getting a bit dry and I must order a new one. Add it to my basket. So because this is holding it all down, it's going to stay in place. So if I don't get a perfect image, I can go back in with the ink pad and stamp it again. If I get any on my mat, it doesn't matter, you just wipe it off. I've got a little bit there that's not as dark, and maybe there as well. Right, so let's just do a light second ink and we'll do fairy fingers this time because I don't want things like this any darker. So we'll just concentrate on those areas where I know it didn't come brilliant, and that looks absolutely fine to me. So while we've got our stamp in here, so that's just a little bit over from one, I'm going to stamp another one. So if I take one piece out at a time, I'll know where the stamp lines up. It doesn't matter if it's absolutely perfect in the same place because I'm not going to use them on the same card or anything. But while I've got all this in here and the stamp is dirty and I've already cut 3 strips, I may as well stamp a couple more, and then I'll have some spare strips ready to turn into a card if I want a birthday card or a thinking of you or whatever. I shall probably make a few thank you cards actually. There we go. And then again, ink my stamp up, and the more times you ink this and use it, the better the impression you'll get, because the ink, obviously you're leaving some ink behind. So let's come in, push down with this. Right, sorry, I'm not reading the comments and I've just saw that this is clever. Thank you, Wendy. No, you didn't dream it. I definitely did do a link to the sticky mat, but I will do it again. It's not a problem. Oh, excellent. So J-Craft are going to have some sticky mats. Brilliant. Honestly, if you don't have one, I think it's probably the best thing that I've bought recently. Right, again, it's a bit pale up there. So let's just re-ink all over, but we'll do our fairy fingers. Just concentrate. There we go. So we can take these out. Now this is our second one, so I'm going to pop these to one side. And they'll be ready for another card, but I know they're that set, they belong to each other. Because even though I've popped them down in roughly the same place, I did have to move it over a little tiny bit. So I may as well do one more, if you don't mind, as I've got one more set. So it was about, I should have left one in, shouldn't I? That will go about there. So this is a really nice way to batch make some cards, actually. And you could use pattern papers as well. I thought it would look really actually, if you had any of Hazel's wood pattern papers, that would look so nice as well. But you could do it with like soft pattern papers. You wouldn't want to go too dark because you wouldn't see your stamping otherwise. But if you had a really pale soft background paper, you could overstamp. So although I'm doing clean and simple, you could make this quite grungy if you wanted to, quite easily. Now that's looking better. Okay, so this is my third set, so I'm going to do these in a separate pile. So they'll be, I know that they all work together. Oh, it feels like it's going to be another very warm day today. It didn't start off very nice, but it's very sunny and warm already out there. Okay, let's leave my card away. I'm going to spritz my stamp, and I just put some water down on my sticky mat as well. Clean my stamp off first. And this is what just amazes me. So now I just get the cloth and wipe over the ink. Some of it was there already. If it doesn't come off, you just add more water. And how does that make it sticky again? I can't get my head around this. It's a bit like the stamps. Why does washing them make them sticky again? But it sure does. Okay, so that is ready. I don't need that at the moment. So I have my strips and I have my card. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to place these down. I do need to trim them down a little bit. So I want this one on the outside edge, and I'm going to get rid of that piece at the bottom, that spare bit of colour. I don't want that. So I don't want to go too high because I have to remember that the pattern has got to go together. So I can cut this one to the bottom of that pattern. I'm going to get rid of that bit. And this one to the bottom of this pattern. Oh, now, because I had them different lengths before, now these are automatically going to be different lengths because I've cut them to the bottom of the pattern, to the stamping. So this one's going to be a little bit different. So the first one I want down, I don't want to move. Hello, what's going on? Oh, because I got the wrong colour together. What? Where's my flowers gone? Because I'm going to have this down here, now I want to allow myself room for my U, which will be this. So I want to make sure that my spacing is going to be okay. Actually, that's rather nice. I quite like it like that. Now, if you wanted some ups and downs, you would have to cut this one shorter here and then not have as much pattern. But I think for this stamp, I think it's better that it just goes up like that. And we'll get as much of that one on. So let's line up our design and see where it's all going to fit together. Actually, that'd be rather nice to have the thank and then the U maybe a little bit up. Okay, right, so I've got my idea of where I want it now. So starting, whoops, with the first strip. And you want to lay these out as well, so you've got some idea of spacing as well, so the gaps that you're going to get between each one. I'm going to put some glue over all of it, and then I can cut off the bit that I don't need. Okay, so this is the bottom. This is going to line up with this leaf. So I'm going to go about there. And then everything else has to follow in around this strip. Now, because I've used VersaFine, even though it's quite dry, my ink pad, I don't want to smudge any of the ink in case any of it's still wet. So if you just pop it down with a bit of kitchen roll, then you can firm it down into place. So again, I'm going to use glue on all of it. This is my Studio Light paper pad with all the different colours in it. Now I'm leaving a gap, so you have to make sure you line up your flowers as best you can with the patterns, but with that little bit of a gap as well. So they're double-sided, and they change in shade, in tones of that shade of colour. So it makes it really useful for things like this when you're trying to match up, or you want colours that fade. Oh, right up there. Now I've got glue on my card where I didn't want it. Didn't match that up very well. Okay, let's quickly take that off because I've gone way too close. See if I can save that a little bit. I didn't line that one up very well. Apologies about that. So on to my next one. And then line this one up. So you're better to try and line your flowers, the big flowers, and then everything else usually follows in. Perfect. Firm that down, and then my last one. And then I'm going to give you some hints and tips for cutting out your letters. Okay, so let's line up. Perfect. So I've got a bit of a bigger gap on this side. Now, do you know what I would do? I would cheat. And I'm going to cheat because that would really upset me that I've got that too big a gap. So I'm going to put it in my guillotine. Ah, I've cut that very straight. This is going from bad to worse. Okay, I'm going to abandon this one. Good job I did a few, isn't it? Okay, that's why I did 3. I am sorry, but I can't do, if I mess a card off, I've got to do it again. Okay, so I've been scoring my own because I want it to be super smooth with super smooth. So that is my 7-inch. No, that is my 5-inch card. That is 12 centimetres. So it's 24, and then it's by 18. So I'm just going to make a little note, a little mark where to guillotine it. So then I can pop this in here and try and see my mark because the light is right on it. Okay, sorry about that, ladies, but I can't do it if it's wonky. I've got to start again, and it's good to see getting out of it. I'll probably cut all those off and use them on a different card. So let's start again. So we'll start with red. Oh, and I haven't cut the bit down. You can tell I haven't had my coffee yet today. Okay. So, place your pieces down, but remember to cut them in a minute. Okay. I should actually be using my Art by Marlene board because it holds things. I'm not having to worry about the card as well then. So let's, why have these tools and not use them? Okay. So this just holds everything in place for me. So it's magnetic. You've got these magnets. Now we've got that one down. You can put that there. It will hold the bottom of my card down. It just makes life so much easier. Okay, so I'm going to, for speed, I am actually going to cut these with my scissors, which I'm not very good at, but it'll be fine. Okay, so put them in the right order, Julie. There we go. Right, I'm going to do the green one next. So I'm going to work either side. Oh, I can't, can I? Because I can't line it up. I'm trying to make it easier and I'm making it worse. Okay, let's go on to our next colour. I hope no one's crafting away with me. Okay, that's that way round. Oh no, it isn't. I put this one on upside down. It really is going from bad to worse, isn't it? I put the leaves at the wrong end. And now I can't join anything up. Why can't I join anything up? Because it goes there. Oh my goodness. Right. Isn't it a good job I did 3? No, can't even do that. Oh, Julie. Okay, let's score another card. This is how, take 3. This is how not to craft, okay? I don't think I'll be sharing this one to YouTube. Oh dear. Okay, so let's mark 18 while we're in there. Okay. Breathe, yes, I should, shouldn't I? I don't normally make cards like this. Okay. Cut that down. Get rid of that. Now let's do this up the right way this time. So, I thought I'd done it all exactly the same. So let's pick these strips. Ah, okay, so you need to have them up the right way. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, and then this bit, and then that bit. Okay, so that's looking like it's all going to join up now. So that's better. So let's trim and trim. That is that one, isn't it? Yep. And trim and trim. And is that up that way? Yes. And trim. Let's start again. So, how near the bottom of my card are we? Let's have it like that. Right. Okay. So if you use the tools that you've got, let's start again. Glue on the back of our first piece. thought this was an easy card to do. And we will aim to be about there. Put your bit of tissue over. Oh. I've never made such a mess of it. Oh, well, I probably have, actually. Okay, pick this up, leave a similar gap, line that up, line it all the way up to the top, keep your gap similar, and firm that down. I just really miscalculated guillotining that little extra piece off when I was cheating. Okay, so I'm looking now at this flower, and that's looking okay. Firm that down. And I shouldn't have tried to cheat, should I? If I'd have just left it, I'd have been fine. And who really would have noticed other than us? Now, I'm not over the top. I think that's okay. But because my camera is right in the way, I'm going to blame my camera and the position that I have to have it in. Got to blame something. That's better. That's a bit more even. Let's come up a little bit. Okay. Right. So this time I don't need to trim anything away from the card because I'm quite nice and evenly spaced. We got there in the end. I do apologise, ladies. It is the heat, Brian. I've actually got a fan on my legs because I'm so blooming hot. And now I've got my magnet. Okay. So I'm going to trim these bits off. You could do it using the guillotine if you wanted to. Do you know what? I was going to make 2 cards because I had all those bits. But I won't be able to now because I haven't. So I'm sorry, Donna, if you're watching. I thought you'd be ever so happy that I was going to make 2 cards. Okay, let's get my glue bottle back in because that's also broken. Okay, so I'm going to put the Hazel's alphabet. So I want the uppercase alphabet. And I'm going to do these in black, I think. So shall I do, I'll do my postage next, I think, so then I can decide. So let's move my stamp, my card. Let's take the stamp out. I did clean it. I'll sort that out later. Get my other magnet back in there. Right, so I need a piece of green and a piece of orange, might as well do it in the right order, and a piece of green. No more red bit. Oh, and I didn't cut much off the red and orange, did I? So I need a bit of that and a bit of that. There we go. That'll be fine. So I only need, from my postage, I only need my little postage stamp, and I'll dice with death on the morning like this, and I'll stamp it myself. I would go and have a coffee. You're absolutely right, Jenny. And I would have gone and had, I would have said, probably would have said, no, I won't say what I would have said. But I would have told myself, Right, go and have a coffee. Okay, so I'm stamping a postage because I think it'd be really nice. Oops, that was a bit wobbly. Got the shakes now. That's how bad it is. Okay, so I have my postage in colour, and I'm going to cut these out, and I'm going to layer them onto black so that they'll stand out, and I'm going to die cut my letters all in black. Now, because I'm doing that, I don't need to have a different colour for each of the strips. But if I wanted to say thank, I want this one to be red. I want my H to be the orange colour. I want my A to be the yellow. So I would cut the letters just with the little squares, putting little squares over them. If I have to come back and do, I can probably put that over the top actually, and it'll cut through it. So if I was doing multicoloured, this is how I would lay it out, but you have to make sure that you put the colour you want down. Oh, I do actually think it was that side. So like it's the green that I want. So that would be the N, and then the line would be the K. So make sure you put the colours up the right way, like down towards the letters, so you get them the colours that you want them. But because I'm going to do it all in black, I'm just going to die cut this. Okay, so now I've got, let's take these all out. They've had a chance to dry a little bit. Let's get my press out of the way. And there's all my pieces. And there's my alphabet. So I've got a T, H, A, N and K. So I don't need any different colours or anything like that. You can guillotine these or just cut them with your scissors. If you're cutting with scissors, you'll do much better and get much straighter lines if you have big blades, big long blades, which I don't have. So we'll have to have, the way today's going, they'll be right wonky. Oh dear. And I was going to give myself a creative day today, but I think maybe I should go and do housework instead. Why am I being so silly? Why on earth would I go and do housework? I've got to do some sometime. Just too blooming hot. Okay, so let's cut this down a little bit. And the thing is, if I can be making cards, I know what I know what I would pick every time. Okay, so we've really got all our postage stamp. And then I will lay them on the card and see how they look without a black layer, but I think they may need mounting onto black just to make them pop off the card, and then we're going to decide what colour we're going to do the U. So let's bring my card back in. I don't know actually. Because they've got the gap behind them, it might be enough. So oh, I really have got the shakes now. It's silly how it upsets you, like getting something wrong. I think it's because there's other people watching. It's probably why. Oh, do we have some rainy weather coming? Okay, I'll leave it then. I'll leave it. I'm waiting for the rain to come. I can feel the fan blowing that now. Okay. So I'm thinking that if I did the U in black, I don't know, I think they might look quite nice. Let's have a little look. Yeah, I think they need to be layered onto black. So I'm going to do it so that they're got the little border so that I can probably guillotine it in one go. Let's put the letter on as well, because next I'll lose the letters, won't I? Nearly glued the wrong bit with how well it's going today. Oops. Oh. Right. Let's glue this bit on first. So if I do it straight from the bottle, I tend to dab it off so that it's not got too much glue on it. That's better. Oh, I've got a really nice big blob of glue there. Dry glue, I hasten to add. There we go. Right. So I need to leave a little bit of a gap so that I can cut them into two. I bet you can't guess what I'm going to do as soon as I finished. I'm going to make myself a nice cup of coffee. I really am shaking. It's like being back on the TV again. Right, so just touching that so that you just get a bit of stick on all of your letters, all over the letter. Aren't they fabulous? I love these little postage stamps. You wait till you see what's coming soon. I shouldn't really do it, should I? Okay, so let's pop. I shouldn't dangle the carrots again so soon. It's not fair. Oops. Nice bit of glue on my finger. Oh, brilliant. And the trouble is with pattern paper, sometimes it marks much more easily than card, because it's coated. It's got a coating on it. And because it's two different colours, it'll actually be the colours like attached to it, if you like. Oh, that really does look... I'll have to cut a little flower out for there. Right, so I think these will look much better. Okay, so let's... And I don't often... Let's do this right this time. Think where it's going to cut. Make sure you've got them all about the same. Okay, that's going to do today. So now that really it did need that bit of black round it. Just lifts it off the card. So let's, this one's not on very straight. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I think I need some hearts today. Oh, Tracy, I ordered some basting brushes yesterday and they're on their way. So I'll be able to do my glue on my sentiments. Yes, I definitely got to put a flower on that. Now I've got a mark on my card. I really am not doing very well today, am I? Please don't hold this against me. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all those hearts. Right, that, I think that really does stand out now. And I think I'm going to make my U black, and then I'm going to stamp some flowers. Put some colour back in. Okay. So now I've got the black U. Let me get rid of that mark. I think I touched my card with my gluey finger. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to add, now I really want to do this, I want to raise my postage up. So little bits of cardboard onto the back of my letter. And then place that down, making sure I've got a little border either side. Put my cardboard on. The rubber is my Mono Sand Eraser. If you don't have one of these, I can highly recommend one. They get rid of inky marks, gluey messes, and yeah, they are just amazing. If you are using foil, they'll also, if you get any excess foil where you don't want it on a foilable, they'll also take that off. So yeah, they're brilliant. I'm trying to read your set messages. I can't read, and I'm not very good at working today, so I will stop and have a coffee and read all your lovely comments in a moment, and if there's anything I need to answer, then I will. But please don't unsubscribe. It's one of those days. Right. Oh, see, I'm liking this again now. A little bit of raising up. Yeah, a little bit of dimension. Perfect. Okay, what I like to do with my words, I do actually, and afraid I'm gonna do it. I like to cut two. Sometimes three. Okay, so I did actually cut 3, because the more you layer these up and the more substantial the sentiment is, I just think they look absolutely fabulous. So I can put some glue on one and line it up with the one below. And then some glue on the back of this one and line it up with my next one. Get any wispy bits off. Let's give it a couple of seconds to grab onto each other, and then we can put glue. And now it's much more of an embellishment because it's got those layers. So let's add that down there. Oh, lots of hairy bits on there. Let's get rid of that bit. That's probably caught by the glue. There we go. Okay, so then I am going to, just to finish this off, I want a little bit of each of the colour. Oh, actually each of the flowers. I don't really want the other ones. I don't want the greens particularly, because I'm going to do flowers now. So in my, not that one, in my hand-picked florals, I'm going to use this little flower, which I'm going to put on there, and I'm going to use with my VersaFine, and I'm just going to stamp an orange and a yellow. I'm going to do another yellow because I want that up. In fact, I'll do 2 on each of each colour. Right, so they stamped beautifully. I'm going to get my bit of tissue because I'm going to cut them out and I don't want to smudge my stamping. So I'm going to have, this has almost got a shimmer to it, this paper. It's very pretty. And it is from the Studio Light paper pads. Right, so now I'm going to cut round, cut down into the middle so I can curl and shape them a little bit. And I'm just going to put a couple of flowers around by the U because it's black, and I'm going to like bring in the colour of the card again. And then I've got to cover up that glue mark on the end. Otherwise I won't be able to give this to anybody. And I was going to make 3 thank you cards, but I'm not now, obviously, because of ruining it all. So just curling those petals around my pokey tool, just so they've got some dimension. A little bit of glue in the centre, and let's have just overhanging onto my letter a little bit. Now, last time I left the card quite plain on the stamping. I didn't put any glitter glue down on it. I could put glossy accents on my letters so that draws your eye to the letters. I could use liquid pearls in the centres of the flowers on the stamping, just to draw your eye to the stamping if you wanted to a bit. But I actually quite like how the flowers on the stamping are not insignificant, but they're not the focal point of the card. I wanted the thank you really to be the focal point of my card. Right, let's I love how everybody else is so tidy, and I try every time. I think you can still see the mess, can't you? I think my camera's too wide. Right, let's have a yellow one. Yeah, maybe because I do it landscape, that my camera's wider than everybody else's, I don't know. It's just like all I can ever see is Tracy's clean mat and Philippa's. Nothing else, just the clean mat. Not all the bits to the side like I've got. All the piled up chaos. Oh dear. Never mind. We're all different, aren't we? Right, like I say, I am sorry that I'm not reading your comments as well. I will go and read them all. And they do mean everything, so I love that you comment. I'm going to have one down there. And I think I'll go with the orange for the N. In fact, I might have to do 2, mightn't I? Because I've got 3 now. And this will be 4. So I'll do 2 flowers up at the top on the letters. Just so it looks like it was meant to be and not covering a glue mark. Could have got a butterfly out, couldn't I? I think I should just have that on my desk, actually, a butterfly stamp. And it could be there ready all the time for all the mistakes. Okay, so let's put a little bit of glue in the centre. And I want to hang it off. That's better. Now you can't see that. One more and we're done. And even though I thought I was going to have 3 cards done, definitely won't be now. Never mind. At least I showed you what not to do. Here's how not to make this card. Right, last one. Even my fussy cutting is terrible today. Should have drawn around my stamp, shouldn't I? Absolutely. It would be everywhere, Jeanette. There'd be a swarm of, I don't know what it's called, of butterflies. It's not a swarm, obviously, that's bees or wasps. Throw that down there. Okay. Right. I'm leaving it at that. I used to like this card. Now I'm not so sure. No, it is a really easy card to do, and I had seen that lots of people have actually had a go already, which I thought was fabulous. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I will spin the camera even though I don't really want to. Bear with me. I will, because I can't not say goodbye. Oh dear. Thank you for bearing with me, making all my mistakes today. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it though, and I hope you will have a go at making it, and whatever message you put on, I would love to see. So take care, have a lovely rest of the day, and I hope you get to be creative. I think I'm going to go and get a coffee and read your comments. Okay, but thank you. Have a lovely weekend, and we will see you all soon. It's Tracy on Monday, and it's me on Wednesday next week. And I think I'm going to be playing with Jamie's Enchanted Sparkles, but I'll let you know. Anyway, have a lovely weekend, and thank you for your company. And I will put it on YouTube if you really want to watch it again. Take care. Bye bye.